Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. This show is an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss for the most part. For links to those articles, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and I am joined by...
The Slayer.
The Slayer. Yes, the legendary Slayer. Anyway, today is Wednesday, aka Odin's Day, aka Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Yeah. You know, we reported on Pearl Harbor earlier today on the history show, so yeah. Very historic day today. Anywho, Zizzle, let's move on into the news, shall we? Coming from Rebel News, former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey calls on Elon Musk to release all internal files for sake of transparency. This sounds like, just look at his face. He even looks like an evil guy. Like, he has a...
Yeah, he does.
Like,
He's got that demeanor.
This sounds to me like he's trying to rattle the cage, implying, things that are not actually real. Common leftist tactics, so... Here we go. Former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey called on Elon Musk to release all internal documents pertaining to the Twitter files on Wednesday for the sake of transparency surrounding the company's one-sided censorship. Quote, if the goal is transparency to build trust, why not just release everything without filter and let people judge for themselves, including all discussions around current and future actions. Make everything public now, Twitter files, end quote, Dorsey wrote in a tweet to Musk. Wow, that is the most, passive-aggressive, that's the energy I'm getting from that. So, says here on Friday, journalist Matt Taibbi released the first series of the Twitter files, which centered around the company's decision to censor the New York Post bombshell reporting on Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. At the time, Twitter Safety alleged the articles were in violation of its hacked materials policy, but Taibbi's, I don't know how to pronounce his name, his thread revealed that it was a cover-up. What? Yeah. Yeah, you're going to say something.
Yeah, that's... I will say, the former CEO trying to get Musk trying to show out files and shit, or emails or whatever, he's out of line for that. He's out of line, and he has no right to do that.
Well, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
He can say it, but it's really?
Well, see,
those files don't pertain to him anymore.
Yeah. Well, as I said before, the fact that he's all release all files, it's bro, that's what he's doing,
he was already doing that. You can't make it look like you forced him to do it. He was already doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Only because he felt like it. Because Elon, he just kind of does his own thing.
Yeah, this is the most obvious, schoolyard tactic. It's oh, well, you're not releasing them all. It's yes, I am. No, you're not. I know you are, but when am I? I know you are, but when am I? Come on. Grow up, Dorsey. Seriously. Yeah. It continues on here, though. It also disclosed that the Biden campaign and the DNC colluded with Twitter to censor information and their political opponents ahead of the 2020 presidential election. Internal emails revealed that the majority of censorship was done, quote, without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, end quote, and now Dorsey seems to be vying for answers. Oh, BS. BS. You're going to sit there and say, well, I don't know what my own company's doing. Well, then I guess that's why you're not CEO anymore anyway, huh? Fucking, really? Are you really going to pull that card, too? Wow.
Pulling that. I had nothing to do with it. But he had everything. He was the reason. He was the one who did it, though. He can't deny something he did.
What a child. What an absolute child. So, anyway, let's move on up here. More from Rebel News. This is a big one. China finally lifts severe zero-COVID lockdowns following protests. Man, about time. After weeks of protests, China is finally lifting the harshest of its COVID restrictions, including forcing people suspected of being infected into quarantine camps. The move to lift the country's zero-COVID lockdowns comes a week after widespread protests rocked the cities throughout the country, including in the nation's capital, Beijing. For the BBC, China's National Health Commission announced new policies to replace the previously draconian lockdowns, including lateral flow tests would replace PCR PCR. People's Communist Republic, I don't know. Tests in most scenarios where a result is needed, although PCRs are still needed for schools, hospitals, and nursing homes. Lockdowns would continue, but should only apply to more targeted areas, for example, certain buildings, units, or floors, as opposed to whole neighborhoods or cities being shut down. So that just tells me they're just going to, instead of shutting down the entire cities, they're still going to shut down the entire cities, but just label every single shutdown. So areas defined as quote-unquote high risk should come out of lockdown in 5 days if no new cases are found. Several cities in China have endured months-long lockdowns, even with only a handful of cases. Well, that just tells me they can just drum up a false positive, as they always have done, to validate their what they would do. And then schools can remain open with student attendance if there's no wider campus outbreak, which once again they can just make something up, because that's what they do all the time. Wow, so nothing's going to change, it sounds like, actually. They're just, this is just a PR campaign. Okay. Well, not surprised. Moving on up, more from Rebel News. Feds have tossed out $1 billion worth of vaccines. Oh, wonderful. So, not only are they wasting money on making this crap, now they're wasting money by throwing it away. As Tuesday's Auditor General report on the federal government's response to COVID-19 revealed massive overspending, bailouts to the dead and incarcerated, and 20% of $5 billion in vaccines hitting the trash can. Wow.
Jeez.
So that's $1 billion.
Talk about causing more inflation. That's how you do it right there.
Yeah.
Like wasting putting money into something and then just tossing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at what supermarkets and Walmart and all that stuff do to everything that's expired. Yeah. Instead of donating it, to homeless people, they just throw it out because God forbid you actually do something nice for people. Walmart, God forbid. So.
Oh, good news! I have some decent news for Christmas.
Yeah.
For the public to know.
All right.
I am going out to Montana.
Ooh.
For Christmas. I'll be going out for a 4-day weekend.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
I think I'll enjoy it. I mean, our first stop, I gotta get up early. Like, I'm gonna have to get up at 4 a.m. Like, I gotta get up at 4, maybe 5 at the latest.
Dang.
And then, and this is first thing in the morning before it even gets light out. I have to go down to the airport, get on a plane, the first stop is in Chicago. Chicago. It's very normal. That's how pretty much every flight is there.
Well, are you going to visit family, or is this an actual vacation?
Yes, I'm going out to visit my dad.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, let's talk more about this after the show, if you don't mind. I am interested.
Alrighty.
But, I don't think it's, pertaining to the subject matter of this show. Plus, it's kind of like you doxing yourself a little bit, so, yeah. But anyway, it says here, in July, Health Canada was forced to admit the agency had to garbage 13.6 million doses, at the time more than half of its doses of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, because it couldn't find anyone who wanted it. What a surprise. Either in Canada or around the world. What a surprise. At the time, questions swirled about the management of other vaccine lines, as efficiency rates were shown to be drastically overstated and injuries underreported. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I don't think any more needs to be read. But if there is even... Yeah, there's a lot of things
I don't
here.
think any more needs to be read either.
Yeah. Gonna move on up here. More from Rebel News. Germany stages largest anti-extremism operation to take down group that was plotting a violent coup. Well, this just tells me that this was a non-violent, group of people who were against the current regime, and they're now political prisoners. It says here, the German police conducted a massive raid on a group of far-right and ex-military figures who are alleged to have prepared for Day X in a plot to storm a takeover of the Reichstag Parliament building and stage a coup. Oh, of course, yeah. Far right and ex-military. Okay, yeah, this is obviously a false flag here. According to the BBC, an aristocrat named Prince Heinrich the 13th was alleged to be central to their now foiled plans. German federal prosecutors say that the prince is one of 2 alleged ringleaders of an organization that spanned across 11 German states. Other suspects includes those from QAnon movement to claim that the country is being run and undermined by unelected officials who make up a deep state that pulls the political strings. Well, what a great way to prove them right, you know? Go after them, you know, and arrest them and do all that stuff, like, you know, if you knew that they were going to do something, then why not let them do it, catch them in the act, you know? Like, yeah, something might go awry and people might die, but, you know, doing it this way is just, you know, admitting your own guilt. So,
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I don't know if this was mentioned, but, I don't think I mentioned. I don't recall if I mentioned this in an earlier episode. But the House is going to take Biden to court for criminal acts.
I remember hearing about this like last night. You were talking about this, right? Or somebody was Blob, or
maybe. No, because the stuff they're getting him for, I think it was one of them was tax evasion, which that is already proven. We've already proven that one. Which he should have already been thrown in jail in the first place, but he's worth so damn much money that he didn't get thrown in.
Yeah.
He bought his way out.
Which shouldn't be able to happen, you know, like, that's...
Like, with the things he's getting dinked for, he's not getting out.
Good.
I don't know if they'll put him in jail, because he is pretty old. Like, he's up there in years. I don't know if they'll actually throw him in, like, a normal prison.
Oh, they should. They should put him in, like, you know... In a really deep cell, lock him away, throw the key away. That's it. You know?
Honestly, I think with the way he's been moving around and stuff, he needs to be in a nursing home. It's not a threat. He's struggling more than what my great-grandfather was.
I don't care.
When he had dementia. And my great-grandfather is in his 80s. He's 90.
Yeah.
He's in his 90s now, and he's still kicking, but he doesn't, his memory's not the best, but...
That sucks for your granddad. Like, I don't care about the other guy that we're talking about, you know? Like, you know, I don't care about Brandon. I really don't. Like, you know, like, you know, in his condition, if it was anybody else, I'd be like, put him in a nursing home, get him the care he needs. But because it's him, no. Put him in a cold, dark, damp cell, feed him stale bread and water, throw the key away, you know?
Yeah. Same with the others. Just get them all out.
I was going to say the same exact thing. Like, you know, him and all of his cohorts and all the people, you know, everywhere. Not just from one party, all of it. The whole shebang. They should all be, like, imprisoned for what they've done. But
especially those main 9.
Yeah.
Especially.
But anyway, let's move on up here. More from Rebel News. Laval University suspends science researcher for expressing academic freedom. Wow, what were we just talking about? Oh. What about Laval University in Quebec City? After the hunt for scientists, they discriminate against white men? Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. Laval University is concerned about academic freedom and freedom of expression on university campuses and that they need that freedom. They also mentioned that in universities, people must debate everything, take risks, study and explore difficult, sensitive, or even controversial subjects, discuss everything but topics such as the possible effects of coercive vaccination. So, coercive vaccination. Okay, this is getting down a rabbit hole that I don't think I want to follow right now. It says here, in the past, the establishment has taken action against their employees who dared to take another way of thinking of the main narrative. Dude, the whole reason for academia is to take on challenging subjects and find alternative answers. You know, like, the whole point of all that stuff is to advance knowledge, not put it into a pocket, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, exactly.
It goes on here. Mr. Nicholas Jerome was the first to speak, and the university immediately disassociated himself from the words of the RNA professor and researcher. And then Mr. Patrick provost, teachers, and RNA researcher also has had 8 weeks of suspension without pay and now risks his career with the same university. So, yeah, no, like, they're actively punishing people who are saying anything against the status quo. Like, you know, and that's not an opinion, that's a fact. You know, I'm reading it right here from the source. Nobody can come after me, you know, like, or this show. They can try, and they will, and they'll still probably try to cancel here on YouTube, but, see, what these guys don't realize is every time they cancel someone, all they're doing is making us stronger, you know, like, so, yep. Anyway, more from Rebel News here. We were talking about this yesterday. That this is the second out of third parts, but a funeral director thinks he knows why child mortality is going up around the world. So this is a continuation from this. I'm not really going to talk really about this because we spoke about this yesterday, but the link to this is in the underbar of the description. So there you go. We're going to move on up here from Rebel News. Reports ABC host liked hundreds of trans prawn videos. I really don't want to read about this, if you don't mind. Like, we gotta start, we'll still read the headlines. Yeah. But, like, as far as the main body, you know, if it's a subject matter like this, I kind of want to, you know, not talk about it. Because, you know, it's, I don't want to get canceled. So. But then here, Qantas baggage tossers stood down after shocking video goes viral. So what happened here? 3 airport baggage handlers have been stood down and others blasted after shocking footage of workers slamming suitcases onto the ground at Melbourne Airport went viral at the weekend. Qantas has launched an investigation after ground services staff were filmed recklessly throwing customer bags onto a conveyor belt, with some missing the conveyor belt altogether. Oh, yeah, so this... Yeah, so, let's see the video. Wow! Like, why is he chucking it like that? You know, it's right there, dude. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I don't travel.
Did you see that? Like, dude, he threw it. He threw it down. Like, dude, wham! What the hell? That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. My dad's flying out tomorrow. So I hope his baggage doesn't get handled like that. That's just ridiculous. Jeez, man. Anyway, let's move on up here. From Oddity Central, married mother of 2 gambles herself away to a landlord. What? Gambling addiction is a real thing. In extreme cases, it can create some truly bizarre situations like people running out of money and gambling themselves away. An Indian man recently filed a bizarre petition with police in Prachagraph, Uttar Pradesh, claiming that his wife and mother of 2 children had gambled away all their financial savings as well as herself. Apparently, the woman was addicted to a game called Ludo and often played with her landlord while her husband was away working as a migrant. He would send her money regularly, but instead of saving it or buying things for the family, she gambled with the landlord until she lost it all. One day she became so desperate that she put herself on the line and, after losing, moved in with the landlord as part of their agreement, abandoning the children. Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
That's weird.
Bruh, like... Wow. That's sad. That is very sad. Like, to be so addicted that you value yourself so little, you know, that you become, like... you become the bet. Wow, that's... She needs therapy. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, wow.
For real, yeah.
Let's move on up here. More from Oddity Central. The world's fastest tractor is faster than some sports cars. You're going to like this one. This is wild. The JCP Fast Track 2 is a stripped-down and performance-enhanced JCP Frastic tractor capable of reaching speeds up to 247 kilometers per hour or 153.8 miles an hour. If you've ever driven behind a tractor, you probably already know that there are many things, but they certainly aren't fast. Tractors are built for power, not speed, but what if someone wanted to make a tractor go really fast? Well, a few years ago, a team at English tractor manufacturer JCB set out to do just that and managed to set a new Guinness World Record for the world's fastest tractor with a modified version of the company's fastest tractor. Over two 2-kilometer runs, it averaged a speed of 135 miles per hour, or 217.6 kilometers an hour, and a peak speed of 153.771 miles per hour, or 247 kilometers an hour. And look at that thing, dude. Oh my god.
That is, wow, that's quite the tractor.
Like, I would like to see that in Farm Simulator 2023. You know? We gotta plow the entire field in 0.3 seconds! Good heavens. Yeah.
Oh, great heavens.
Great heavens! But yeah, like, I saw this earlier, I'm like, is that half of the Union Jack right there? And yeah, it is. So, yeah. That is a real powerful tractor. I'm just gonna read this next paragraph here. Powered by JCB's proprietary 7.2-liter 6-cylinder diesel max engine, the record-breaking Fast Track 2 had a peak power of 1,016 horsepower, backed up by over 2,500 Nm of torque. Those are some impressive numbers, but keep in mind that even in its stripped-down form, the thing weighed a whopping 5 tons. So the team had to develop innovative solutions for improving aerodynamics in order to achieve their goals. Oh my god. 10,000 pounds, so 5 tons, going at over 150 miles per hour. That is terrifying, dude. That is terrifying.
That's like a,
oh my god.
Like a not so reinforced tank ripping down the quarter mile. Just ripping down the strip, and it's like, whoo! That thing's hauling.
Man, something tells me that this is going to be utilized as some kind of new fast scout vehicle for the armed forces, you know? Seriously?
I feel like it would.
Like, seriously. You know, put on another another ton or two of armor. Yeah, you can reduce it down to 100 miles per hour, but still, you have 7 tons of an armored vehicle running around at 100 miles an hour. Like, you're not going to catch that. That's frightening. Anyway, moving on up more from Oddity Central, man spends 8 years carving 400 stone steps to Hilltop Temple. This is cool. An Indian man has gained the admiration of millions of devotees after spending 8 years carving over 400 stone steps to a hilltop Hindu temple using only a hammer and chisel. The Baba Yogeshwar Nath Temple in Bihar, eastern India, was famous among devotees of Lord Shiva, but very difficult to reach because of its location at the top of a steep 1,500-foot hill. Able-bodied people spent hours climbing the hill every day, while the elderly, children, and disabled people had virtually no way of reaching it without assistance. Trekking up and down the steep rocky slopes was risky, and people often injured themselves trying to reach the holy temple. So one day, 8 years ago, a local mason decided to make every devotee's life a little easier by carving stone steps from the bottom of the hill all the way to the temple. Well, look at that. Really cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah, like, it's, you know, it's not the best steps, but hey, you know, it's better than, like, you know, the alternative by far.
I mean, it's better than what most people can do.
Yeah. Says here...
It's actually way better than a lot of people that I know.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Well, I've seen people that have made wood steps worse than that. And that's sad. If you've got perfectly straight pieces of wood, you should be able, if you're not dumb, you should be able to make a staircase no problem.
Yeah.
But somehow, I know people that are dumb, that are seriously so bad at making stairs that they manage to mess it up.
Dang.
Like, really not that hard to make them.
I made a step stool in woodshop once in high school.
You learned how to make them too, then?
Oh, well, yeah, well, like, that side was, like, over 10 years ago. So, well, over 10 years ago. Wow. I graduated in 2005. Oh, my God. I am old. Wow. Wow. Bro, you'll get here one day, too. It's going to blow your mind. Like
yeah. I only graduated last year.
Wow, you fetus.
Actually, this past year, actually. Only back June.
You egg.
Oh my god. Like an egg. I'm an egg.
You are an egg.
I'm an egg.
Yeah.
Because apparently Doomslayers come out of eggs. They get hatched.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the Doomslayer hatched from an egg, apparently.
They, like an alien, it goes... But every time, like, it opens up, you just, like, the Doom music starts playing, and you just see, like, a little fist. You know? Holding a gun.
And you just hear BFG Division getting spammed in the background. But it's, like, at a higher pitch because it's just Baby Doom. Just...
Baby Doom, oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to read this last paragraph here before moving on. It says here, Ganure Paswan worked as a truck driver for most of his life before shifting to masonry. He spent most of his time in the city of Jehanabad, earning money for his family back home in Jarubanwaria, a village at the foot of the hill that many people climbed every day to perform pujas at the Baba Yogeshwar Nath temple. After going up the hill himself one day and seeing what devotees had to go through, Pashwan decided that something had to be done, and that was that he was the man to do it. So, good thing that this was not in the States, because like they would have like ordered him to destroy it or something, you know. But yeah, they're a little bit more free out in India, at least in this regard. But I mean, that's really cool.
He's qualified to do it.
Yeah. But you need to have permits, and you need to have a registered landlord, and you know, so, like...
Well, it is public land, so you don't really need a landlord.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on up here from the Mirror. Exclusive to the Mirror, nurses demand to be valued with pay among worst in Europe. Read letter in full. The Royal College of Nursing has written to Health Secretary Steve Barclay, citing this week's international report by the OECD as, quote, categorical evidence that the United Kingdom values nurses less than others, end quote, as they prepare for strike action next Thursday. The OECD's Health at a Glance Europe 2022 report compared nurses' pay across countries based on a common currency and adjusted for the cost of living there. When converted into the sterling, NHS nurses' pay was £29,710. That is not a lot. Like, that is nothing.
Is that per month?
Oh, well, let's see here. Using the same formula to factor in the cost of living called Purchasing Power Parity, PPP, the OECD put nurses in pay of Luxembourg at £57,530. Pay for nurses in Belgium was $53,650, and the Netherlands is $43. So these are all different costs of living and everything. In a letter seen by the Mirror, RCN General Secretary Pat Cullen said, quote, "This clearly shows that UK nurses fare worse than most other European countries, not only in comparison to national average earnings, but in relation to their incomes failing to keep up with their day-to-day living cost," end quote. So they're just the pay of nurses is the smallest in all of Europe, is what they're saying. So the UK, start paying your nurses more. You know, like,
well, I mean,
keep up.
Well, I mean, they get free healthcare. All of them do. Everybody in Europe does. So I guess that kind of counters it.
Yeah. Well,
because if they didn't get free healthcare, they'd be getting paid probably triple that.
I don't know. Well, there's no such thing as free. They're paying for it in taxes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on up here. More from the Mirror. Stephen Bear joked he could have a mad twin brother after sex tape arrest, court hears. Okay. Stephen Bear joked that he could have a mad twin brother when being quizzed by police after being accused of revenge porn. Chelmsford Crown Court heard today. Jurors heard how the celebrity Big Brother star 32 made the quip during a police interview in March last year over allegations he filmed himself having intercourse with Love Island star Georgia Harrison at the age of 27 at his home in 2020, and then shared the CCTV video to OnlyFans and adult site Pornhub without her consent. Wow, what the hell? Wow. So, and then of course he's going off and saying, "Oh, I have a mad twin brother." Really, dude? Like, you know, I hope he's joking. You know, you can't really tell with people anymore these days, but I hope he's joking. And yeah. you know, if he did do that out of spite, then, you know, he deserves everything that's coming to him. You know, can anyone say like Amber Heard? You know, like that's what I'm thinking of right now. So anyway, gonna move on up here to UPI, aka Oopie. Blind horse breaks 3 Guinness World Records in Oregon. This is interesting here. A 22-year-old Oregon horse with no eyes broke 3 Guinness World Records: highest free jump by a blind horse, most flying changes by a horse in 1 minute, and fastest time for a blind horse to weave 5 poles. Morgan Wagner of Corvi said that he was allowed to choose her horse, Endo, from her grandmother's herd when she was only 13 years old. Wagner said Endo started having eye problems when he was 8 years old, and then he was diagnosed with equine recurrent uveitis, which eventually led to his eyes having to be removed. That sucks, man. She said it took time for the horse, not known that as Endo is the blind, or now known as Endo the Blind, to regain his confidence. Quote, he was very scared in the beginning, so I took him for walks around the barn and then moved on to walks around the property, end quote. Morgan told Guinness World Records, everything in small steps. Dude, could you imagine, like, now, you know, it's scary enough for a human, but can you imagine being something like a horse and then just waking up one day and your eyes are gone? Like, what the fuck?
Like Jesus.
Yeah,
you'd be flipping out.
Yeah, like, why can't I see anymore? What's going on, you know? Like, I can't find the ounce, help!
You'd be sitting there having a panic attack.
Yeah. Good lord. Well, man. I accidentally looked at it without its eyes, and they're just empty sockets.
Odd. It's, like, weirdly disturbing.
Yeah. Let's move on here. More from Oopie. Virginia dad pushes 4 kids in a stroller while running 10K. Huh. Dang.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's like, honey, I'm taking the kids out for a walk. Oh, never mind. I'm taking the kids out for a marathon. Like, what? A Virginia man loaded his 4 children into a stroller. Sorry, what?
Wait, that's not even a marathon.
Well, like half a marathon.
Yeah, I think that's a half marathon, I think.
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah. I'll check.
It says here, a Virginia man loaded his 4 children into a stroller and ran a 10K race in 48 minutes and 1 second, earning a Guinness World Record. So he ran in a race. He wasn't just doing it. He was in a competition. That is crazy.
Even did a quarter.
Stephen Christopher, an active-duty Air Force pilot from Sterling, participated in the Run the Greenway race while pushing a 4-seat stroller containing his 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and 2 10-month-old children. Christopher finished with a time of 48 minutes and 1 second, becoming the first Guinness World Record holder in the category of fastest 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles, pushing a quadruple pram male. Quote, the real challenge and why I think it's a Guinness World Record is running while pushing a stroller with 4 kids that are in there for a long time and having to make them happy with inclement weather and all those challenges, because I think that changes the game completely, end quotes, Christopher told Inside Nova. So, and then of course there's a little bit more for the audience to go and read themselves. But, man.
Yeah, correction about the half-mile thing. That isn't even a quarter. That's not even a quarter marathon.
How long is a marathon?
A marathon is 26 miles or 42 kilometers roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. 42K.
It's not even. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a half marathon is 21 kilometers.
Okay, so this is like less than a quarter of a marathon.
Yeah, it's like just under. It's only maybe like a kilometer off.
You know, that makes me think maybe this guy should do a marathon with these kids. You know?
I think he would die.
Yeah.
He'd probably pass on from cardiac arrest from running that damn long.
Dude, did I show you that video of that guy? Like, you know, they have those little like carriages you can attach to the back of a bike for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Have I shown you that video of the guy with that, and he like does like a flip and everything?
Oh my god! Oh, that is dangerous. That's like, oh.
Hold on a second. Let's see here. Bike guy, child carriage flip. Let's see if I can find it. No, I can't. I can't seem to find. I have it saved. Oh God. Yeah, it's essentially right there. You can see in the thumbnail. Like, that's not the same one. Actually, that is the same one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh my God. Holy shit! Oh my God! That kid's getting air. Okay, we gotta watch that after the show. So, anyway, let's move on up here. Our last article here. Oh boy, here we go. German police from AP News. German police seek help in solving bull sperm heist. What?
What are people trying to do? Make bull human hybrids?
I don't know.
That would be weird.
That's a little bold of them to do. Anyway, police in Western Germany are appealing for help in crackage of a potentially very cold case. Is that a wordplay there? Authorities say about 60 containers of bull sperm were stolen from a farm in the town of Olfen, 90 kilometers or 56 miles northeast of Cologne, late Monday or early Tuesday. Police said in a statement Wednesday that while it's unclear how the rustle happened, the precious cargo needs to be supercooled with liquid nitrogen at negative 196 Celsius or negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit so it isn't spoiled. They are seeking tips from the public that might lead to the recovery of the sperm, which was intended for artificial insemination. Did they really have to word it that way? Like, everything in this article is just, oh my God, I have to send this to Zanny. Hold on. So, let's see here.
It's a bunch of that what she said.
Yeah, hold on. Zanny, there you are. Alright. Oh, that's right, he has me on, mute because, he caused me to spam a picture at him. But, well, we'll see if he notices. Anyway, well, that's, I hope that gets solved. Question mark. I'm gonna have to ask Protoblob about this. So.
Hey,
yeah.
That might be quite a sticky situation.
Oh my God! Really? God.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar, the description, for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of different, odd, and otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time.
And 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
And I am the Slayer.
Yep. And until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in history, we have a history show every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. Anyway, whenever you see us again, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Bye!